Shubha Deepavali and Shubha Yama Dwitiya or Bhau-Beej, as it is in the Treta Yuga and the Satya Yuga. It was called as Yama Dwitiya, the day that we celebrate today as Bhau-Beej. Dwitiya is Beej and Bhau are the first brother and sister were Yama and Yami, and their samvada or discussion is given in the 10th mandala of Rigveda. This samvada talks about sexual reproduction and leads to the formation of the Vivah Sanskar or Vivah Sanskar, as we see in our religion. This same concept is expanded further in terms of Gotra. What is a Gotra? Gotra means family, and a family is started from a Rishi. There are Saptarshis, and then there are many other Rishis. A Rishi starts a family, and that Rishi's name is given as the Gotra of that family. Something which is very similar to what we have as a surname today. There is Kaudinya Gotra, Vasishta Gotra, Kutsa Gotra, Bharadwaj Gotra, and so on. As of now, there are at least 108 Gotra or even more, and all descendants of that Rishi from the patrilineal order are considered to be belonging to that particular Gotra. And this system has been there in continuous succession for last at least 12,000 years that we know of. Why I am saying 12,000 is the Ramayana occurred 12,000 years ago, and the Mahabharata occurred at least 5,600 years ago, as per the research of Nilesh Nilkantha Oak, who has written and spoken extensively on these topics. So, at least for 12,000 years, the Gotra system is continuously known. It is also known as the Kula system. Shri Ram was from Ikshvaku Kula, and 40 generations from there up to Ram is today considered. That is why there is a proverb, when you want to say it has never happened before, we say that it has not happened in 40 generations. That 40 comes from the generations counted up to Rama. And after Rama, there are at least 22 generations. On the 22nd generation, the king of Ayodhya fought in the Mahabharata war. So, what is the importance of Gotra? Importance of Gotra can be seen today, and it makes us realize how wise and wonderful our ancestors were. Gotra gives you identification that you belong to this clan, but still the application is much wider. It also tells you the strengths of that clan, the intellectual achievements, intellectual, physical or otherwise achievements of those clan, the history of that clan, and also the existence of that clan in various places it talks about. That is one application. And in anthropology or sociology, it is accepted that the skills gained by one generation are passed over to the next generation and next to next, and as a result of which if you know the Gotra, which Gotra you belong to, you also effectively know which are the salient skills, talents or geniuses that you have inherited from your parents, if not immediate, distant parents in the patrilinear sequence. Based on that, you can utilize it in today's time to gain better acceptance in those skills. If you work in those areas, gaining those skills or regaining those skills or recollecting those skills would be much easier for you than learning other new skills. Of course, learning these skills or relearning the skills will have to be in the realm of reality as of now. So, for example, if somebody, the Rishi, was a weaver or knew how to weave, you will have to adjust it in today's time by becoming a textile engineer, textile designer, something to do with textiles, something to do with weaving, something to do with art of weaving or something to do with technology of weaving. So, weaving will be the core character, or as they say, remaining next to the knitting. So, the core of the knitting will be weaving, and from there you can check out variety of professions and variety of areas that you can venture into. That is one application. The second application I will explain with the another example of consanguinity. Consanguinity map, if you look on the world map, is the map of near blood relationship. This can be a probabilistic or statistical map, and as people go on marrying their near relatives, the map becomes darker and darker. That is, your relationship with your wife becomes closer in terms of consanguinity, and consanguinity is not a good thing in sexual reproduction, because the more consanguinity factor is there, the more you are prone to single kind of disease. That means, if that disease hits like a pandemic or endemic, then those people who are more consanguinely attached or connected are likely to fall prey to that one kind of disease and are likely to be easy targets. So, the less the consanguinity factor, the better. That means, the distant relationship that is there between husband and wife, the better. And if you see, India has been the highest populated country from time immemorial, and Europe and especially especially northern Europe has been the least populated of all countries in the world. Also, you will see Australia or New Zealand were also very low populated. But if you see the consanguinity map of the world today, you would expect to see a huge consanguinity factor in India and very low consanguinity factor in, say, US or in New Zealand or in upper Europe, that is northern Europe. But the situation is exactly opposite. As compared to the population, as compared to the number of people constrained by the same land mass, the consanguinity factor of India is much lower than what would be expected in natural circumstances. And why is that so? It is because of the Gotra system, which was set into motion by our Yama Samvad and later followed up by Rishi Munis of yesteryears. Sagotra Vivaha were banned. So, you cannot marry in the patrilinear sequence any relative for 7 generations. If there is no patrilinear relative in 7 generations, then the marriage is okay, otherwise it would be called as Sapinda relationship. And not only that, Sapinda relationship was extended to mean the people from the same town, from the same god worship, from the same locality, from the same water water storage or the same water source. All of these are your Swakula Jata or Sakha or even considered Sapinda. So, you do not marry these people, marry people outside of this orbit. As a result of which, this rule being followed consistently and all through the ages, distant marriages have been possible and have been occurring, and as a result of which consanguinity factor has been kept at a very low level. So, these are the two applications of ancient wisdom which are giving us rich fruits as of today in today's world. Think about them, think about the benefits that we are enjoying because of the far vision of our ancestors. Shubha Deepavali and Shubha Bhau Beej. Namaskar.